Canto 15. Along one of the rims of stone we came, where the mist of the river makes a shade, shielding the water and the banks from flame, as do the Dutch who fear the hurling tide, smashing the coast between Bourges and Wesson. They build a dike to shunt the sea aside, and as the Paduans along the Brent defend their town and villages before the mountains of Carinthia feel the heat. In such a fashion were these bulwarks made, although their master builder made them not so thick or tall, whoever he might be. We had already left the woods behind, so far that even had I turned to look, I never could have made out where it was. When the following dike, we met a band of spirits coming towards us, and each one stared at us hard, as one is wont to stare at someone in the dark of the new moon, knitting their brows to keep us keen in sight, as an old tailor threads the needle's eye. And while this family was watching us, one of them knew me, and he seized me by my tunic's hem and cried, "What wonder's this?" And I, when he'd stretched out his arm to me, so fixed my eyes upon his crusted looks that even the charred features could not keep my intellect from recognizing them. And lowering my hand towards his face, I answered, "Sir Brunetto." "Are you here?" said he. "May it not trouble you, my son, if Brunetto Latini turns a while to walk with you and lets the file go on. And I beg you, please, with all my heart, and if you wish me to sit down with you, if he with whom I go is pleased, I shall." "My son," said he, "whoever of this flock stops for an instant lies 100 years and cannot fan away the flames that strike. So let's go on. I'll follow at your feet. Then will I join my company again, who go and mourn their everlasting loss." I did not dare to come down from that road to walk beside him, but I bowed my head as one who, walking, shows his reverence, and he began, "What chance or destiny has brought you here before your final day? And who is he who leads your pilgrimage?" "Up there in life, beneath the quiet stars, I lost my way," I answered, "in a valley before I'd reached the fullness of my age. I turned my shoulders on it yesterday. This soul appeared as I was falling back, and by the road through hell he leads me home. Follow your star, and you will never fail to find your glorious port," he said to me. "If in that lovely life I judged you well, and if I hadn't died when you were young, seeing the heavens smile on you so kindly, I would have given you strength to do your work. But those ungrateful people of ill will, who in old days came down from Frisol, and smack still of the granite and the hill, will grow to hate you for your doing good. Justly so, for among the bitter sorbs the sweet fig should not bloom. About their brood the world has long reported them as blind, a people greedy, envious, and proud. Clean yourself of the customs of their kind. Such honor will your fortune hold for you that both sides will be hungry for your life. But let the grass be far from the goat's tooth. Let the beasts of Frisol provender upon themselves, and never touch the plant. If any can still sprout in their manure, wherein their lives again the holy seed of those old Romans who remained behind when men had built the nest of vice and greed. If I could have my wishes heard in full, I answered him, you would not even now be banished from our life. It moves my heart, but in my mind your image is set firm. How, like a father, gentle and beloved, you taught me in the world from time to time. How man achieves an everlasting name. And in my words, as long as I may live, I shall declare my gratitude to you. I'll write down what you tell of my life's course and save it, with the other prophecies, to be lost by a lady. Who will know if I arrive to see her? Let this much be clear to you. Unless my conscience scolds me, I'm ready for whatever fortune wills. My ears have heard such pledges made before. Let fortune turn her wheel which way she likes for all that, and the peasant turn his hoe. And then my teacher turned his cheek to me, catching my glance behind him on the right. One who takes note has listened well, he said, continuing with Sir Brunetto. I walk on and ask him of the worthiest and the most famous of his company, and he to me. To know of some is well, its merits praise to pass the rest in silence. The time's too short for such a tale to tell. Know, in a word, that they were scholars all, great men of letters, clerks of wide renown, made filthy in the world by the same fall. Pedagogue Prescians, with that wretched mob, Francis de Corso with him, and note there, in case you hanker after such a scab, him whom the servant of all servants switched from Arno's sea to Bacchicleone's, where he left his sinews stretched in wickedness. I'd tell of more, but can't go further on talking and walking with you, for I see fresh smoke arising from the sands ahead. People approach with whom I must not be. In one thing I still live, I ask no more, but trust my treasurer to your memory. Then he turned round and seemed like those who strip to race for the green banner through the fields about Verona. And of those he seemed the one who wins, and not the one who loses. End of Canto 15.